Okay, so I'm editing this because this was not about breakfast. People told me that the Fat Electrician had another channel called the Fat Files, so I was like, okay, let's go over there. I looked for a video that I thought maybe which one do I like the look of? Oh, Waffle House. We don't have that here, and it's like all American breakfast, and I want to see the difference. But when I watched this video, this video is not about food. You know what? I don't want to spoil it. This has some insane stuff in it. It's quite inspirational. So here we go. I hope you enjoy this as much as I did. And this is my first time watching it. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. I actually debated on which channel I was going to upload this video on because on one hand, we're going over a business and the business model that it has. But on the other hand, this restaurant is basically the Roman Colosseum of the South. And I'm pretty sure if you eat there enough, you actually get a deployment patch from the US military. Regardless, I wore my schnazziest tank top for the occasion.
Okay, so I'm already quite intrigued because his other channel is like a military history channel. And he said he almost uploaded it to that channel. I thought this was supposed to be about breakfast, but hey, that was a great intro.
Today we're talking about Waffle House. Okay, just to be completely clear with everybody, I was pretty sure I was not going to get caught off guard because Waffle House is already absolutely crazy. I started looking into it and then found out that Waffle House is somehow connected to the Manhattan Project from World War II. So
wait, what? Right, so with 30 seconds into the video, I thought I was looking about American breakfast, but somehow we're already talking about nukes. How is this connected to the Manhattan Project? Well, I guess we're going to find out, but that's what an insane start.
They managed to actually surprise me, and we're going to get to it right after a word from our sponsor. Yeah, babe, what's up?
Hey, I need a boombox.
Okay, I can go get you one.
Perfect.
All right, I'll get it now. Love you.
Love you.
Okay.
Bye.
1 hour later.
Where's that boombox that I asked for?
Oh, it's right here. I got it for you.
What?
What is this?
The boombox.
No, I wanted something to play music with.
Oh.
Oh, that kind of boombox. Yeah, I got this instead.
Okay, we'll go to the store and get me a boombox so I can listen to music.
Can I keep this one still?
I don't care.
This video is brought to you by Delete Me, okay? Super simple business.
All right, so as always, we're going to leave this man's advertisements in here because he's gracious enough to let us react to his stuff. So, like, please do go and support this man. Use his code. Do what you got to do. Man's an absolute legend and an amazing storyteller. Go and support that dude, man. If you're not already following him from my channel, I highly recommend you do. He sent people my way. I please would like to repay the favor one day.
And then if they find it, they submit all the opt-out forms on your behalf, so they have to take down and stop selling that information. So when you buy Delete Me, you're not actually buying anything. You're just buying your way out of all the negative consequences of all the free shit that you've already gotten. And because they continue to monitor those data brokers, you're buying yourself out of all the future negative consequences of all the free shit that you haven't even gotten yet. So if you want to give Delete Me a try, there's going to be a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, Waffle House. Our story begins with a gentleman by the name of Tom Faulkner. This man graduated from law school at 23 years old, passed the bar, and immediately gets drafted in 1940 in the days leading up to World War II. Because he graduated from college, he's presented with two different options. He can A, go straight into officer training, and that's a 3-year commitment, or he can just be a normal draftee and go in as an enlisted soldier, and that is a 1-year commitment. Now you gotta remember, at this point in time, like 1940, while World War II is currently going on, America's not involved yet. The attack on Pearl Harbor has not happened, and prior to the attack on Pearl Harbor, the American people did not want to go to war. Because of that, Tom Faulkner figures, hey, we're not actually going off to war. I don't want to waste 3 years of my time just being in the military, not actually, you know, fighting a war or whatever. So he chooses to be a draftee.
I'm already quite surprised because you assumed that, oh, it was going to be, oh, he had a background in food and he'd been cooking from a young age and everything. Like, we're already into the video and has not mentioned a single thing about food yet. And it's loads of military experience coming up already.
Goes into the military as an enlisted soldier, E1 private. From there, goes off to basic training. As soon as he gets through basic training, the attack on Pearl Harbor ends up happening. America enters the war. He immediately opts to go into OCS training and commits for 3 years. After he completes the officer training course, he actually gets slotted to be a counterintelligence officer where he does, and I quote, a lot of top secret stuff.
You see, my identity must remain mysterious and my mission secret. I cannot reveal it to you.
You can actually tell in the interviews that he gave later on in his life, like in his 70s, 80s, and 90s, that he's still not sure what he is and what he isn't allowed to talk about. But he did end up telling us that basically it was his job to try to sneak onto military bases, not as military personnel. So he would basically disguise himself as like a painter or a carpenter or whatever and try to infiltrate a U.S. military base to expose weaknesses weaknesses within the system to help counteract enemy spies.
Interesting.
So he does that for a couple of years, and then one day he ends up getting orders like, hey, you're going to Knoxville, Tennessee. And he's like, okay, for what? And they're like, don't fucking worry about it, just show up. So he shows up in Tennessee and he's given his orders, and those orders, I'm paraphrasing here, but they're essentially, hey, here's your partner. You two are gonna hop in that truck and you are gonna drive it from Knoxville, Tennessee to Los Alamos, New Mexico. You guys are gonna dress in plain clothes. You're not gonna look at what's inside the truck. You're not gonna talk about what's inside the truck. You're gonna take this map and take that exact route.
Los
Alamos route avoids every major city and every major highway. You are gonna drive straight there, 53 hours straight, taking turns sleeping in the passenger seat and not stopping for any reason whatsoever. And he does this for the next year and a half, pretty much non-stop. And then like 20, 30 years after the fact, he finds out that he was actually hauling the majority of the enriched uranium for all of the nuclear testing and the building of nuclear weapons.
This video is supposed to be about food, and we're sat here talking about how he took part in ending the biggest war in human history and had a big part in creating the first ever nuclear bomb. Like, where is this going?
Which, as we all know, brings about the end of World War II, at which point he gets out of the military, moves back home to Atlanta, Georgia, starts helping his dad out with his real estate agency. Now, he does that for about 10 years, and during this time, he ends up selling the house right next door to his to another guy by the name of Joe Rogers, and they pretty much become best friends. Joe Rogers was also an Army veteran. He was actually a pilot that flew B-24s in World War II. When Joe got back home after the war, he did not want to go off to college, so he actually just took the first job that he was offered, being a short order cook at a now defunct restaurant chain known as Waffle House. He worked his way up, becoming a restaurant manager, then eventually becoming a regional manager. And then one day his neighbor and best friend, Tom Faulkner, real estate agent, always looking for the next investment, comes to him and is like, hey, I'm thinking about opening up my own restaurant. I can get the real estate deal going on that side. I just wanted to know, like, if I opened up and bought a franchise of Waffle House, would you be willing to run it for me? Now at this point, it's like 1954, 1955. Joe Rogers has a ton of experience inside the restaurant industry, and he basically tells his best friend, like, hey, don't open a Waffle House. You should start your own thing. Waffle House's business model isn't that great. If you start your own restaurant, I will help you run it. He then goes off on vacation with his family, and by the time he comes back, Tom Faulkner has already bought the real estate and comes to Rogers and is like, cool, what's the business we're starting?
Where's Pancake's house? What? We stop at Pancake's house.
For breakfast?
And within the span of like 6 months, the very first of what is now the legendary restaurant chain of Waffle House opens.
This is actually really cool. Two veterans become best friends, one of which has a crazy background story, and then from what I can see, go on to live like the American dream.
And Waffle House is legendary, probably for all the wrong reasons. I mean, even if you've never been to a Waffle House, you've heard about Waffle House because, well, I mean, Kid Rock got in a fight there. You've got Haley Booth, the viral Waffle House cook known as the last chairbender.
What?
There's entire subreddits and YouTube channels almost exclusively dedicated to all the fights that break out at Waffle House. I remember the first time I went to a Waffle House, I stretched first, I grabbed a GoPro, I was ready to yell World Star, nothing exciting happened. I just had delicious breakfast at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wait, Waffle House is famous for fights? Is it that bad? Like, we still haven't spoke about the food yet. I think we're getting to that bit now, but what?
Which is probably 99% of people's experiences, because despite all of the negative PR, Waffle House makes a ton of money and has an incredible business model. Okay, Waffle House had about $1.4 billion in revenue last year, which is about $650,000 per location, and when you take into consideration that each Waffle House is absolutely tiny, that's really impressive. Out of their 2,100 tiny Waffle House locations, their yearly stats are 58 million cups of coffee, 124 million waffles, 153 million servings of hash browns, 272 million eggs, which is about 2% of all the eggs consumed in the United States of America.
2% of all the eggs in America. This food chain must be massive.
And 85 million strips of bacon. Yes, I did the math. That is about 8,000 miles worth of bacon.
I worry what you just heard was,
Ron
give me
Swanson.
a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
85 million strips of bacon is just an insane thing to think about. But also, I just want to point out here that I love the Ron Swanson clips. Like, it's a common misconception that Americans don't understand sarcasm. But when I see the Ron Swanson stuff, like that right there, as an Englishman, That's funny.
So Waffle House is obviously doing something right. What exactly are they doing? Well, it all comes down to their business model and their branding. Now, with the Waffle House branding, all the negative PR about fights always breaking out at Waffle House, in a way, has actually helped them out a ton, because Waffle House, by and large, is pretty much a regional chain. It's primarily down in the South.
Oh,
Yet,
it's not all
Waffle
over?
House has become a household name pretty much everywhere in America. You could have never even seen a Waffle House, and you already know Waffle House is open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and they serve breakfast. Why do you know they serve breakfast? Because their name is fucking Waffle House.
Waffles here are not really classed as a breakfast food. They're more of like a dessert, something that you have afterwards, a treat with loads of chocolate on and stuff like that. But they're open 365 days of the year. What, like even on Christmas Day, everything.
I mean, look at this sign. You're driving down the road, you see that, you know everything you need to know. They sell breakfast. The end. Do that with another breakfast place. If you're not from there and you don't know what a Denny's or a Perkins or an IHOP is, you have no idea. It's just a restaurant, maybe.
He actually has a good point here. Like, I don't know what an IHOP is. Like, I haven't got a clue. Whereas the name Waffle House, it clearly is a restaurant.
Waffle House, they're selling waffles, which means there's like a 99% chance they sell other breakfast food.
Yo, that looks nice.
Fucking sold. I'm in. So already, the branding is absolutely incredible, but here's the true genius of it. Why did they call it Waffle House? Why didn't they call it Breakfast House or Bacon House or Hash Brown House? It's because waffles had the highest profit margin. I cannot stress to you enough how absolutely genius that is, right? Because you don't need to sell breakfast, all right? Everybody's already in on breakfast, okay? I could be blackout drunk at 4 in the morning and you could ask me, hey, do you want breakfast? I'm coming up like the Undertaker every single time. And then you go, the only thing open right now is Waffle House, okay? I was already sold on breakfast from the get-go, but because Waffle House is where we're going, guess what I'm getting? A motherfucking waffle, and they're making more money.
Yeah, that's genius marketing. Like, most people's favorite meal of the day is breakfast. In England, we have something and we call it an English breakfast, and they even sometimes call it an all-day breakfast, but they just simply don't serve it all day. Like, you cannot in England go out at 4 a.m. and find an all-day breakfast. You cannot. I guess maybe you could, like, in a big city, I think.
It makes sense that Tom Faulkner was a counterintelligence officer because the man literally said 2 words and has already subconsciously tricked you into ordering the most expensive thing on the menu that makes him the most money. So the branding of Waffle House is both simple and brilliant, and the rest of the business model matches that to a T. Okay, all Waffle Houses are like virtually identical. They're very small. They only seat like 30 people, and you can actually see the cook making you your food. Now, at a glance, you're just like, oh, they're just going for that like 1950s drive-through type of a vibe, which they are, but there's way more to it than that. Because the restaurant is so small, the kitchen never has the opportunity to get bogged down, meaning that they're moving tables very, very quickly. So instead of having one kitchen and 100 customers, you've got one kitchen and 30 customers, and you can just turn those tables over 3 times faster, which pretty much guarantees that every customer is going to get exactly what they wanted. Okay, they're not going in there for 5-star dining. They're going in there because they're hungry and they want breakfast, and now they're going to get breakfast really quick in a small setting that doesn't feel like a packed restaurant where they have to wait in line to be seated. And I know what you're thinking. What if one Waffle House just reaches its maximum capacity, right? What if it's just completely full with a line out the door 24/7 every day of the year? Waffle House surely would build a bigger Waffle House, right? No, we're gonna take the same parking lot, and right next to that first Waffle House, we're gonna build a second fucking Waffle House, okay? The plan is working, and if it's not broke, don't fix it.
The only thing that I can even closely compare that to in England is Greg's. They sell like sausage rolls and pasties and a couple of sandwiches and things, but nobody really goes into Greg's to sit down and eat. You just grab your stuff and you go. Like, you pick something up before you're on your way to work or something like that. You eat it in the car. But they are not open all day every day. Definitely not. And they are a rip-off. Like, expensive. And they do not taste anywhere near as good as they used to when I was a kid. Nobody wakes up anymore and thinks, oh, I really want to go to Greg's. They don't.
Which is one of those things that seems dumb, but is actually brilliant. So obviously speed is key to this business model, and they've done themselves a big favor with their menu because their menu is overwhelmingly simple, okay? It's literally one side of one piece of paper.
I want to see the menu again.
Okay, the entire menu is comprised of like 10 things. They have waffles, sausage, bacon, ham, eggs, toast, biscuits, gravy, butter.
Okay, so the idea of keeping it simple is absolute genius, but I really want to look at this menu. Like, I don't know what that is in the bowl just there underneath the hash brown bowls thing. What's a hash brown bowl? And the only place in England that I know of that sells sausages in like a burger shape is McDonald's. That's it. But like, all of this looks really good. I know that you guys have biscuits and gravy, and I know there's loads of different types, and I would love to try them all because I've never heard of an American that doesn't like it. But this menu looks pretty good. Like, I would like to try that. Like, the fact that you guys have pancakes and waffles, like a breakfast food, like, other than McDonald's that sells pancakes on one of their breakfast menus, I don't know of anywhere else in England that does waffle. Like, I don't know anywhere that does waffles for breakfast. Like, okay, this looks good.
And syrup, guess how many flavors of syrup they have? One, it's fucking syrup-flavored syrup. The entire menu is simple, exactly how it's supposed to be. Oh, sorry, they have hash browns too. Sorry, 11 things, not 10. Anyways, moving on. Another reason they do so good is they actually might be the best fast food chain when it comes to taking care of their employees. They pay them higher than average, they have super flexible schedules, and they're one of, if not the only fast food chain that actually offers all their employees healthcare and dental insurance.
That's actually really good to hear because it doesn't just create a job for people, it creates loyalty. And if you have someone who is an happy employee, they will do what's best for the company, and that will make you expand even more.
Okay, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, but really, how good are they actually treating the Waffle House employees? I got the one stat that's everything you need to know, okay? Waffle House treats their employees so well that employees are willing to commute into a natural disaster to work at a different Waffle House when the occasion arises. Yeah, Waffle House is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and they fucking mean it.
Okay, so when I said that creates loyalty, I didn't mean like you would go into a natural disaster to continue work, and that's pretty amazing. They genuinely must treat them really right. So, but wait, hold up a minute, hold up. This place stays open during natural disasters? What?
Okay, whenever there's like a hurricane coming or some type of impending natural disaster, Waffle House organizes what they call a jump team, a bunch of Waffle House employees from a different region that's going to be unaffected because they know that their local employees are going to be busy taking care of their own family and their own houses during a hurricane. So they bring in teams from outside the region to work inside of a natural fucking disaster, and they're willing to do it.
I never said thank you.
That's cool.
And you'll never have to.
Okay, McDonald's can barely get their employees to show up on a good day, and Waffle House has employees volunteering to commute into a fucking hurricane to make breakfast. And this is the most impressive part of the business because Waffle House has the best logistics and preparedness of any company I've ever seen ever. The only entity that beats them in logistical capacity is the United States military. Waffle House is literally ready for absolutely anything.
Good?
Every single Waffle House has the playbook inside of it that details exactly how the staff is supposed to handle literally any type of emergency or situation that could possibly arise. And if for some reason the situation comes across that isn't in that playbook, after it happens, they immediately add it to the playbook. It covers tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, a hole in the roof from a branch falling, a car driving into the restaurant. You can drive a car into Waffle House and they're still planning on staying open.
Oh, so they legit like don't close at all, no matter what happens. I have never heard of something like that in England. Like, if you get 3 inches of snow in England, most places are closing down.
The playbook even has detailed plans for every type of disaster for what the local employees, while they're not working, should go home and do to make sure that their house and their family are safe as well. Every single Waffle House has a backup generator. The stovetop, it runs on propane, and they have a bunch of extra propane tanks on hand. Flashlights, candles, batteries, backup water. They have a special menu of what they're able to serve when the water is out and they're running on reserve water. When a Waffle House location is going to be in a disaster area, that Waffle House stocks up on extra food, and then all of the neighboring locations in the unaffected area also stock up and stage food there to get them more food when they need it. If Waffle House is a standing structure, those motherfuckers are serving breakfast come hell or high water.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
Not leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
During a Category 5 hurricane.
Waffle House is so good at this that FEMA uses them to gauge how bad natural disasters really are. Yes, FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, literally uses the Waffle House Index to gauge how bad a disaster is.
That is absolutely insane. FEMA. It's called the Waffle House Index. They are so dedicated. This company is 100% staying open no matter what. That if this closes, you know something really bad's happened. We genuinely do not have anything like that here in England, and I don't think there's anything like that in Europe. I mean, your weather conditions and the things that happen over there weather-wise is way more extreme than ours. But to still have a company that's open no matter what, that's more than dedication, man. That's wow.
Okay, green, Waffle House is running as normal. Yellow, Waffle House is using the backup generator or having to use an altered menu. Red, Waffle House is closed. People are probably already fucking dead by that point.
I've got nothing else to add to that. I just wanted to take a moment to just let that sink in. Like, if Waffle House is closed, people's already probably dead. Man, it goes back to what I said earlier in the video. Places closed down in England, no joke, okay? 3 inches of snow and schools everywhere closed down in England. I don't know why we do it. I don't know why it's a thing. But for this place to close, there's a good chance people's had to have died. Like, oh.
Waffle House is literally the Terminator of the fast food industry, okay? The fact that the federal government, probably the most powerful entity on the planet, maybe ever, looks at a chain of restaurants and is like, man, if Waffle House is closed, we need to mobilize the National Guard, is fucking crazy. Now, maybe you guys are thinking the same thing I was at this point in my research, and I'm like, man, I need to invest in this company. I need to see if I can open up my own Waffle House franchise. This company's awesome. And this is where the bad news comes in. I mean, technically you can franchise a Waffle House, but most of us probably can't. The company is privately owned. It's not on the stock market. It's still owned by the families of the original 2 founders. And while they do allow franchises, they are super picky about who they let buy in to have a franchise, and they make it very, very expensive to buy in to make sure this is actually what you want. And while that is unfortunate, I think it's actually kind of awesome. It's a company that actually has morals and cares about their image more than they care about next quarter's profits, okay? It's a company that has committed themselves to making breakfast under any circumstances, and they're gonna see that through till the very end, even though they could probably make way more money by just selling franchises and letting whoever the fuck throw up a Waffle House. And now for the fairy tale ending, Joe and Tom worked together as best friends for 62 years to build Waffle House into what it is today. They both passed away at the ages of 97 and 98, and now Waffle House and their legacy lives on as that company is still being operated by their kids, and that is the American dream.
He's right, that is the American dream, but it's not just the American dream. That's surely got to be everybody's dream, right? Like, surely to build something amazing, to work your ass off all of your life, to achieve things, to also serve your country, and then to be left with something that you can pass down to your family through generations, that's got to be everyone's dream. If that's not your dream, then I don't know where your heart is. Like, hey, much respect to these 2 vets here who put together something which is dedicated and clearly has good morals and values and refuses to give up on no matter what the situation. This is crazy. This is not just a regular food chain. This is actually something quite miraculous.
Get together with one of your best friends, pick a goal, even if it's something as simple as serving breakfast to people, and never let anything get in between you and achieving your goal, even hurricanes and floods and natural disasters, apparently. Work with your best buddy for 62 years straight and then die together and hand it off to your kids. In conclusion, Waffle House is the most American company ever, and that's why I love it. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch.
Go get some merch.
FatElectrician.com. Quack bang out.
Wait, he usually does like a little thing.
Just 2 homies that dedicated their life to serving my drunk ass breakfast at 3 a.m. I'm gonna get teary-eyed next time I go to a Waffle House.
Yo. That story had everything. That was way more than I expected. That had everything from nukes to natural disasters, cars going through buildings, like and still serving food. But what the main thing in the story is, like people served their country, they came home, they put something together, they made it, they stuck to their morals and values, and they got to a position where they lived a long and what seems to be happy life, sticking to those morals and values, and ended up passing it down to their children. And from what he's just said, it sounds like those children are continuing those morals and values as well. What more could you ask for? That was a beautiful video. This man is very talented at what he does as well. Please go and support him. I will put his links to the video and everything in the description. Thank you so much for watching this with me. I thought it was going to be about food, okay? It wasn't about food as much as it was everything else. But the menu looks fascinating. I'm going to have to look into that more. Thank you so much for watching this with me and for recommending it to me. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Go and get yourself some food. If you're near Waffle House, send me a picture of what you get. Put it in the Discord. Send me a picture. Best way to support this channel is what you got to go and support his channel. Best way to support this channel is stick a like on the video. Maybe drop me a comment if you want. Thank you so very much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. Much love and God bless. Thank you.